What's up, Canes fans? Welcome to the Canes Insight Daily Podcast powered by Anajar and Levine. Took a short break from these player interviews, but wanted to get back to meeting some of the players on this team. The portal's closed, so you know they're going to be on this team. And today's player is a critically important player to this team, starting safety Jaden Harris. He is someone that's been identified as one of the breakout stars of spring and somebody who I think is a more important player on this roster than people think. Great kid, great interview. You guys will enjoy that. Brought to you, as always, by Canes Connection. Want to talk about our friends at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. If you or someone you care about has been injured in an accident, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Dial 1-800-747-FREE, 1-800-747-3733, and take back control of your life with the starting lineup of accident attorneys at Anajar and Levine. So again, this is going to be a Jaden Harris-centric pod because we got a great interview with him coming up. And before we jump into it, I wanted to just talk about why he plays such a role. You may have seen Deion Sanders came and took a safety from the Miami Hurricanes, Savion Riley, who was a Vanderbilt transfer, expected to play a big role with the Hurricanes, left after spring and is now going to most likely start for Deion Sanders over there in Boulder, Colorado. This is someone that Miami wanted to keep. Miami liked Savion Riley, liked his tools, his size, his physicality, his straight line speed, but he was someone that was rotating a lot in spring, and I don't think he wanted to be in a battle for his spot. He kind of wanted to walk in from Vanderbilt to a starting spot and decided to move on to Colorado. So what does that do? It opens up the need for a safety to play either snaps or, in the case of someone who's already playing like Jaden Harris, more snaps. Also, Mish Powell, who played predominantly nickel in the spring, the Washington transfer, the Washington Husky transfer, played safety for the Huskies, has played nickel cornerback for Miami in spring, had cornerback experience at Washington. Miami really wanted to add a nickel to play there more consistently and allow Mish Powell to spend more time at free safety. That was really the one position Miami was not able to fill in the portal, at least has not done it so far, is that nickel corner. So that means more time for Mish Powell at nickel, along with some other corners that are already there. So what does this mean? Savion Riley gone, didn't get a nickel. A lot of pressure on Jaden Harris to play major snaps. And I think he's probably the most important player on this year's defense that's not being talked about enough. Going through 6 foot, 195, Riverwood High School in Atlanta, 3-star player. This is someone who committed to Manny and T-Rob, and then Cristobal was able to kind of keep that commit, evaluated him, decided to keep him, and it was a good evaluation because he is now the starter. Redshirt sophomore, started 2 games last year when Cam Harris was out, now set to play a bigger role. Someone that had a lot of size and speed at the high school level. Well put together kid, but again, the speed jumped out when you watch his high school film. He was returning kicks for touchdowns. He was getting handoffs and taking those to the house, also playing defense. He was even the team's kicker and punter because of his soccer background. His dad was a Colombian soccer player, which we talked about in the interview. And when he got hurt last year, he had to step up, when Cam Kitchens got hurt last year, he had to step up and play a big role. And Mario Cristobal was very impressed with what Jaden Harris did.
A guy that already was developing and playing well that has to be highlighted is Jaden Harris. I mean, that guy's, you want to talk about a transition, a transformation, so to speak, of a guy that was playing on special teams and maybe not playing with a lot of confidence in our scheme is now as dependable as any player on our football.
And then this spring, Mish Powell, again, playing mostly nickel. That safety spot highlighted with the loss of 2 guys to the NFL, James Williams and Cam Kitchens. So Jaden Harris had a lot of playing time, really was the leader of the secondary, leader of the defensive backfield, leader of the safety group. Really, he had to be. He was the only guy with returning starts in that safety group, and he came in and did a really nice job in spring, as Coach Guidry pointed out.
But Harris is probably the most improved player, I think, on defense right now. But he's got a lot of confidence. He's not sitting behind 2 older guys, Cam Kitchen, and, of course, my big safety boundary guy, James Williams. Sorry, James. But he's played last year. You know, Harris has played. So right now he's playing the boundary safety, but I'm going to move him to some field safety as well and keep swapping him and Savion.
So without further ado, we'll be talking to Jaden Harris. By the way, shout out to Caneswear for this nice Canes baseball shirt you can get on caneswear.com. And thank you to Canes Connection, the official NIL collective of the Miami Hurricanes. Sign up using promo code CIS. You get 20% off the first month and access to a private insider Zoom chat. Just did one Thursday. Ask anybody who's been on those chats. Great information. I answer all your questions and give you non-public stuff I cannot give you in this kind of platform. And the reason we do it is to be able to provide for great student athletes like Jaden Harris, who joined us courtesy of Canes Connection. You guys really love this interview. All right, we are here with Canes Connection athlete and starting safety for your Miami Hurricanes, Jaden Harris. Jaden, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed to be here.
No, happy to have you on. You had an awesome spring, a lot of fun watching you. Talk to me about the progress you made this spring, playing really with the starters.
It was just a great spring as a collective. I felt like as a defense, we just all gelled together. It was honestly a great spring for me coming in and being in the defense, being my second year in the defense. So every day I kind of knew what to expect. I knew all the Gidry drills, all the defense. I knew it from the nickel position, from the free safety position, all the way to the boundary. So it was just a great spring, a great experience to go out there and play with my teammates.
And you know more about playing defensive back in Miami than really a lot of people because you played all the spots. You came in as a corner, then played nickel, and now you're
it all.
Yeah. So talk to us about some of the differences for the fans that are listening to this that want to learn more about football and what the stuff that you are responsible for on the field. Not getting into the specifics of scheme or anything like that, but just but just safety, corner, nickel, some of the big picture differences between those positions from your perspective.
Yeah, so a big difference, I think, playing on the outside, you got to be able to be a little bit more fluid. Play some more man-to-man, of course. You're going to be a man and be in a lot of zones, different zones. Just being more fluid on the outside, being able to play man, being able to cover well. And once you move into the box, I think I had to become more physical. I had to be able to become more physical playing in that nickel position, that nickel role. And then when you move back to the back, also just being able to just really make the smart plays, take great angles, get the ball down when it breaks, take great angles out of the post, and just be the general, kind of see everything, be able to see both sides of the field. At corner, you're not going to do that much at all. But at safety, just being able to see everything and just being the general and just kind of leading the defense, really.
Now, we always ask people about their athletic background before they played football. A lot of people played basketball, stuff like that. I know you played some soccer. Your dad played soccer down in Colombia. So tell me about playing soccer and how you transitioned to football and how soccer may have helped you with what you do now.
So this is about to shock a lot of people. I really never wanted to play football. I didn't grow up playing football at all. I played when I was 6 years old. I played when I was 6. My mom made me and all my brothers play. But after that year, you could decide what sport you want to play. And I played basketball, I played baseball, and I played soccer for most of my life. And just growing up, my dad wasn't around as much. So I kind of seen that as a way to just I always looked up to my dad still. And I played a lot of soccer. And that was just my main sport. I thought I was going to be a professional soccer player. So I think it helped me with my feet, a lot of the footwork, a lot of the coordination. But yeah, man, I grew up, I was a soccer player. I started back playing football in 9th grade, but I was the punter. And I was real good at kicking the ball, obviously. So I was the punter from my freshman year, sophomore year. That's when I started playing DB my junior year, but I played punter all 4 years. So soccer helped with that.
Now, when I was growing up in the 90s, Colombia was kind of like the Miami Hurricanes of soccer with the swag and all the stuff that they did. You ever watch old highlights, any of that stuff, or no?
No, not for real. I don't really watch old highlights. My favorite player was Pele, from the older days. I used to watch his highlights, but that's probably the oldest I go back for real.
Gotcha. Now you committed to Miami at kind of a unique time in terms of transition between coaching staffs, and you stuck with it. Came to Miami. Obviously, you're still here through a lot of other departures from your class. So what made you come to Miami? What made you stick with Miami?
Man, I just remember going home after school and turning on those Ed Reed highlights and just turn on those Sean Taylor highlights and just watching the FSU rivalry. I'm a Georgia kid. I'm born and raised Atlanta, Georgia, but when when the FSU Miami game came on, it was like I was a Florida kid. I was so invested and interested in it. So I'll never forget when the day the offer came. I was in math class, probably about sixth period, and from that day on, I just been a Cane. It was just like I call my mom like, "Mom, going to Miami." She's like, "You don't know nothing. You don't know anything about anything." But I just had a feeling like I just knew if I had the opportunity to play in that game, play for this team, like I'm not changing that for nothing. So that's how it came about. When I came on a visit, it was better than what I expected. Everything was better than what I expected, and ever since then, it's just been better. And it's just home to me. It's just where I want to be. I don't want to play nowhere else.
Now, you play football, obviously, that's only a small part of who you are and really small
Mhm.
part of your day. What are some of your passions off the field?
Definitely passes off the field. I'm really just always like I'm like a family man. Like I just love to be around my family. My family here, my boys, Mish Powell, Miles Muyon, and we just hang out all the time. We could kick it. We could do whatever. Like we just always hanging out. You know, sometimes go fishing, go to the mall, whatever. I'm just a family man. I just love spending time with my family, and that's probably the best thing that I do outside of the building, outside of the field, is just spend time with important people, man, and just spend time with my family.
Yeah, there's a lot of fishermen on the team because we talked to a lot of people and they talk about fishing. Do you go out
Yeah.
for like mangrove snapper off the dock, peacock bass in the canals, or are you out there on the ocean?
Nah, I'm one of the dudes when we go fishing, I'm just sitting back enjoying, letting them boys, because them boys advance. So when we go fishing or if I'm out fishing, man, I'm just sitting back. I'm just enjoying myself. I'm relaxing, man. Them boys too advanced for me.
So this spring you were playing safety. A lot of
Mhm.
positive comments from the coaches to the media about your progress. What are some of the things that you hear as far as feedback on your game at safety now that you made the transition and got your feet under you?
As far as positive feedback or negative feedback.
Whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
Um, some of the positive feedback I've gotten, I've been more of a leader, um, more confidence in my game, having 2 years under the defense under my belt. And just being that leader, trying to be in that vocal guy for the defense, be able to line people up and see certain matchups, see certain things. I think that's something that I improved on during the spring, like seeing a matchup, seeing what kind of running back they got. Do we want to match them up with that linebacker and switching it and just being that general. So that's the most thing I'm trying to focus on is just maintain being that leader and that general of the defense. For real.
Now, you being a safety, you've gone against some tight ends, some really good tight ends. I've seen you at
Mhm.
practice battling. What's your scouting report on some of these tight ends that you've been going against here on the practice field?
Okay, Elijah Arroyo, you gotta treat him like a receiver. Uh, he ain't no tight end. He ain't no tight end. He's a big, fast, physical receiver, and he was great this spring. It was a great opportunity to go up against him, and I knew I had to bring my A game every day. You know, I had to bring it every day. So just going up against him, learning from him, I would tell him certain things like, "Hey, man, you could do this better," or you know what I'm saying, "Why you change this?" And it was just a great experience because he's like a veteran guy. He's an older guy. So learning from him and going against him was great. Elijah Lofton, another great tight end, who's just real, just the ball is anywhere in that vicinity, it's you gotta, you know what I'm saying, most like a cat, so you gotta really be techniqued up with him. He knows his frame and size. He knows how to use his size well. He knows how to use his strength against routes and run his routes well. And then you got Riley Williams, another great tight end, who's he had a great spring. With him, he's just a real smooth route runner for his size, but he's also like a heavier tight end, but you would never know it, just how smooth he run his routes. So I'm excited for the tight end room. They had a great spring.
Now, we ask this question to everybody. When you're getting ready for a game, what kind of music do you listen to get in the right mindset?
Um, I'm always listening to Lil Baby, but that's in the house. I'm cleaning up. If I wake up, I want to listen to music. I'm listening to Lil Baby. I'm just like a real Lil Baby fan, being from Atlanta. So before the game, I'm listening to Lil Baby, kind of get myself going. But that's like all the time though. But I got some Lil Baby going.
So, you came from a smaller school when you
Mhm.
came to Miami Hurricanes. You're playing with some guys that played, on national TV in high school, right? Big programs, then they go to Miami. You coming from a smaller school, what was your mindset as far as showing that you belonged with these big name recruits from big time schools?
Me personally, I feel like it resets when you get to college. I feel like once we all put on that in practice uniform, we all trying to prove ourselves no matter where we came from. If you a 5-star, #1 recruit in the nation versus, me being a 3-star, a kid from Atlanta, Georgia, I think we all had to prove ourselves. So my focus really wasn't on my background. I knew I was here for a reason. By the grace of God, I made it here. So I wasn't gonna let, nothing discourage me at all. That's kind of my mindset. Like I'm here for a reason and y'all here for a reason. So I'm just gonna prove myself regardless. 5-star, 1-star. I'm here.
Do they ever let you kick in practice or punt in practice? You ever do
They
any of that?
should.
No. Yeah.
They should. They don't be giving me no opportunities. I'm telling you, one day y'all gonna see it. Like a rugby style punter. Like I'm really like that. Like if it weren't for punting, I wouldn't be playing football at all.
All right, Jaden, want to ask you about Canes Connection. How have they helped you build your brand?
Canes Connection is a great opportunity and resource that helps me give back to the kids. Just give back to the community that I live in. And this is a great opportunity to learn and just like I said, just give back to the kids and, go to the schools and see them and just I remember being one of those little kids. So it's just a great opportunity to just give back. I'm just blessed to be in this organization.
So, Jaden, last question before we let you go. Just your personal goals for this season and your team goals.
My #1 goal right now is to win. That's nothing else matters. The food don't taste the same when you don't win. And I really that's all I can see right now is doing my best every single day, every single team event, when I'm on the field, when I'm not on the field, when I'm with the team, when I'm not, making sure I'm doing the right things that can help this defense get 3 and outs and help the team win. So that's my #1 goal. That's all I really care about is winning. I mean, to me, it ain't nothing else that's important if you ain't winning. So that's it. Just win.
Jaden, appreciate you. Hope you have a great season. Stay healthy. And, thanks for joining the Canes, man. Appreciate you having you.
Yes, I appreciate you.